All right, folks. Stevie B. Toth here. I want to talk to you just for a few minutes today about sleep, or as in many people's case, the lack thereof. I want to read out of this is a book by Troy Casey, business partner of mine, wrote this book, Ripped at 50. He's got a great section in here on sleep and his 9 pillars of health. I just want to read one quote from Professor Matthew Walker of UC Berkeley. There's simply no aspect of your physiology that seems to be able to retreat at the sign of sleep deprivation and get away unscathed. It's almost like a broken water pipe in your home. Sleep loss will leak down into every nook and cranny of your biology, even tampering with the very DNA nucleic alphabet that spells out your daily health narrative. Sleep is not an optional lifestyle luxury. Sleep is a non-negotiable biological necessity. It's a life support system. It's Mother Nature's best effort yet at contra death. And the decimation of sleep throughout industrialized nations is having a catastrophic impact on our health, our wellness, and the safety and education of our children. A couple other books. Eat, Move, and Be Healthy by Paul Chek. There's a section in there on sleep as well. And also, of course, when it comes to sleep, it all begins with the sun, okay? So tonight's sleep, at least for me, began when the sun came up this morning. So we can see on a normal day, I hope everybody can see this, our activity hormones come out, our cortisol and whatnot. It's a good time to exercise is here in the morning. We have the hormones in us to get those activities done. You can see that by midday, by noon, those start to decline and the repair hormones start to come out and your melatonin and whatnot. Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., the hormones are most active for body or physical repair. From 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., the hormones come out to repair the psychological aspect, the mind, okay? So this is a quote-unquote normal, what it kind of should look like here. This is where most of us are at. You know, some studies out there, and it's hard to nail down, but I can tell you more than 50% of the people out there having trouble with sleep. Just ask anybody, or you probably already know. People talk about it. Our stress levels because of the modern day lifestyle, having to get up early in the morning, go to a job that you hate through traffic, sitting all day with people that are miserable as well because they're not living their dream and purpose and they're unhappy and they're going to take it out on you. Or they didn't get laid, they're recovering from a hangover. I'm speaking from experience on that one. What's going on in the news, what's going on in the world, all that manipulation by the media and government. Fight or flight, okay? So all the blood goes to the extremities. It evacuates this area. Digestion stops, okay, when we're in fight or flight all day. And these stress hormones continue. This is very catabolic. This is very tissue destructive. It destroys our tissues, okay? So basically from the inside out, stress. Start learning how to de-stress. And you can see that the repair hormones, that time gets shortened down, and there's no making up for any of this. This is what it is. And it's tied to the celestial bodies, to the sun. You think about it, our ancestors for tens of thousands or however long we've been here, we get up with the sun, normally before the sun, and that light is information not only hitting our skin but coming into our eyes and telling our body in a sense what hormones need to come out and start working. It's an amazing automatic self-regulating machine should we not be messing with it too much. Diet, things like caffeine, chemicals, processed foods. If we're already going through all this stress and we're eating ultra processed food, which really isn't food. So now we're not digesting this food that isn't food. So you can see where this can get kind of nasty and people start to stink and you know, stink, reek, not just farting and breath and pits, but their whole, the skin is an organ and it breathes and it's going to get rid of all the stinky stuff. So one of the best things that I ever did to reset my rhythm, 2016, I went on a 1,000-mile hike of the first half of the Appalachian Trail. And so go camping. That's a little extreme, but if you can get out for, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 days, and you're probably, yes, you're going to take your electronics with you, but turn them off at night. You don't need them at night. When you're out for a couple of days, you'll notice, you know, get up with the sun, do some stretching, eat your breakfast, whatever, if that's your thing. Or like myself, I like to hike a little bit and then eat, and hike all the way till just before dark. And that's a lot of body movement. That's a lot of sunshine on the skin. A lot of thinking as you walk. It's like a walking meditation. So you're including this body movement, especially if you're in the mountains. Any trail will do. After a couple days, hikers call like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. They call that hiker midnight because you're just bushed. And even after I got home, to this day, I got no problem getting into bed by 9 o'clock. So this also helps you get that early morning sun in your eyes, which is information telling the body which hormones to come out and what time of day it is. You can avoid caffeine, you know, after noon, certainly not after 3 p.m. Caffeine tends to stay in the body all day. It's got a half-life of basically half a day. So we want to avoid the caffeine, and it's in a lot of foods these days, so be careful with it. If you're going to do it, just drink organic coffee. I'll either do none. I used to do 2 cups, and now I just do 1, and I'm trying to not do any anymore, so whatever, play with that. Try not to eat after 7 p.m. I try to cut it off at 6, but if we want to get to bed between 10 and 6 a.m., 7 o'clock gives us 3 hours to digest the food if we're not under stress. So don't watch the news. I say like after 6 p.m., don't put on any screens. We're getting to that, where that ties in right here. Don't eat after 7, because that way it gives your body a chance to digest that food and get it down into the intestines, so it's not all rumbling and crackling and burning. Make sure you're eating right, okay? In Paul Chek's book, there's a primal pattern diet questionnaire in here. Look up the book Metabolic Typing. That's also another good way. Eat like your ancestors, okay? You can't fool thousands of years of repetition, DNA, ancestral eating, okay? So no screens after 7. So get yourself some blue blockers. You can find cheap blue blockers at Marshall's or TJ Maxx, Walmart, Amazon, all the usual suspects. Watch any lighting, because they've got us all trading in the conventional light bulb for the fluorescent bulb and the LED bulbs, which they have a similar effect on the body. Let's say, for instance, you get up to go pee at 2 o'clock in the morning and you flick that LED light on in your bathroom. It's literally an instantaneous response by your body. That light is coming in. Okay, remember, early morning sun in your eyes. These new lights mimic those same wavelengths. So it's instantaneous. You turn on that bathroom light, That light goes into your eyes, and now you can't go back to sleep. So very important that think about when we're camping and you don't have your electronics with you. You might have a fire, which is the usual for a light, or an old school flashlight with the bulb. You can use salt lamps. You can use candles, but be safe with the candles. Be sensible. A lot of candles today also have terrible fragrances in them, which is a whole other hormone disrupting, endocrine system destroying, a whole nother talk. Again, find yourself some blue blockers. You can get them in readers and prescriptions. Sleep in a dark room or area, and a cool, okay? You can always add or subtract the blankets, control the darkness, get a mask, shut the doors, get all the electronics out of the bedroom, turn off the Wi-Fi at night, lose all the Wi-Fi at night, okay? And there's ways to handle this, to run all the Wi-Fi through your house wiring instead of Wi-Fi. You can look that up on Amazon. That's the only place I've seen those systems. Maybe smarthome.com would probably have it. Stay hydrated, but watch drinking a lot of water. Again, 7 o'clock, I got to watch how much water I drink because I'll get up to go pee. Another thing with getting up at midnight, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, if it's consistent, and maybe your stomach's rumbling, maybe you're not digesting food, maybe you're low on energy, some other signs and symptoms of a parasite imbalance. I don't want to say infection. The human body is made out of several pounds, three or so pounds of bacteria, viruses, germs, fungus. Same stuff that's in the dirt. We're just animated dirt. That's all. This is how we move through time and space with the meat suit. Again, sleep is important. You know, you want to get into the esoteric stuff. Some people say that while you sleep, and at least for me, it's like my soul takes these journeys to these other timelines. It gets kind of weird. If you have sweet tart cherry juice, you can add that into your, it helps with the naturally occurring precursors for melatonin, very high. I have, besides NyQuil, sweet tart organic cherry juice is without the chemicals in it and the poisons works better than NyQuil. And it's non-addictive and it doesn't taste like crap. So anyway, that's my short little talk on sleep. If you got any questions, hit me up on the social media. You can take a look now. What's going on